Hey guys, so we are going to go back to this solving for x. It's in section 1 of your solving for x and slope-intercept form assignment posted on Google Classroom this week. And we're just going to kind of review and step it up a notch. Before we do that, I want to review just the order of operations. And remember, the order of operations is saying if you have an equation that has a lot going on, like number 4 in your assignment in section 1, it tells us the order of which to tackle it. So parentheses are first, exponents, multiplication, and then division, and then addition and subtraction. Okay, so if we have an equation that has all that going on, though, that's the order of how we tackle that equation. Speaking of an equation with a lot going on, go ahead and open up that solving for x and slope and intercept form assignment. We're going to do section 1 today, and we're going to focus on number 4 as our example. That way you get some free answers, especially for the harder one, and you know how to do the rest by yourselves. So remember, for solving for x, our goal is to, or in this case, solving for b, our goal is to get b on one side and a plain Jane old number on the other side. So in order to do that, we have to do inverse operations, which just means doing the opposite, so that way they cancel out. But before we do that, we kind of have to do some simplification. We have these parentheses right here that we need to simplify or get rid of. Okay, and we're going to do that just by distributing this negative sign, okay? So 8, we're going to distribute this negative sign, which is really an actual -1, to the 3 and the plus b. So 3 times -1 would be -3. So I'm just going to write that right down here in my equation. -1 times b would just be -b. And there we go. We did those parentheses, not so bad. Okay, and then I'm just going to complete the equal sign. We didn't do anything on this side, so I can just copy down exactly what's on that side. All right, so I have 8 minus 3 minus b equals b minus 9. I'm going to go ahead and just combine these two like terms. I have 8 minus 3. If I do that, I just have 5. And then I'm going to copy down whatever is left in my equation. Minus b equals b minus 9. Okay. All right, so now I just need to get all the b's on one side and all the numbers on the other side. And there's a few different ways you can do this, but I'm going to go ahead and just cancel out this negative b on this side by adding b. 1b, or negative 1b plus 1b would just be 0, so those would cancel out. But if I do it to this side, I got to do it to the other side, so I have to add b. And then I'm left with 5 on this side because those canceled out, equals b plus b is just 2b minus 9. All right, so I almost have this b by itself. I have 2b minus 9. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this minus 9. And I'm going to do that by just doing the opposite of minus 9. I'm going to add 9. That would cancel out because minus 9 plus 9 is 0. I'm left with 2b on this side. But if I do it to this side, I have to do it to the other side, so I'm going to add 9 to this side as well. And if I do that, I get 14. Okay, almost there. Whew, I want to get b by itself, but it's being multiplied by 2. I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying by 2, and I'm just going to divide by 2. And if I do that, 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so that's why those cancel out. I would just be left with b on this side. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Get away, thingamajigger. Okay, so my b equals 7. All right, if you have any questions, like don't worry, this is the hardest one in section 1. If you have any questions with 1, 2, or 3, feel free to let me know. See you later, guys.